What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of V4 Takt Destiny. This is episode 9, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
So Takt and the group finally arrive in New York, where they meet up with Anna's family, including their older sister Charlotte, who works with a Symphonica. Um,
Apparently, she's also a doctor, I guess,
or a researcher,
Yeah.
and on how music arts works with their conductors. So they head over to the Symphonica somewhere on Manhattan. I don't know where, but they head over to the Symphonica headquarters, where they examine both Tact and Destiny. Pretty much, what was it? Anna's sister Charlotte pretty much concludes what we already knew about ever since the series started, is that the more they use their powers, the more of their life force that'll be drained from them, and if they continue to do this, they will eventually die. So Charlotte has given them the option to pretty much stop fighting, to pretty much preserve their life and potentially live out the rest of their lives. I mean, that's easier said than done, considering that they're in a country like consumed with D2s roaming around the place.
Yeah, I think at first Takt asks if it was possible that Lot could somehow nullify their contract, but of course she pretty much says it's impossible to do that, and then pretty much their only option is to just not fight anymore.
Yeah, and so far, the remainder of this episode goes into a more slice of life sort of segment where Charlotte, Anna, Takt, and Destiny all stroll around the city, pretty much looking around the place. Eventually, Charlotte and Anna leave Takt and Destiny alone by themselves, so they can let them have their time together. So Takt and Destiny just pretty much stroll around Central Park, where they eventually run into I guess a memorial for one of the conductors, or an orchestra conductor or something like that. And of course, they end up paying their respects there. And of course, they muse of when they will ever get to hear an orchestra again.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much just have a conversation about stuff like fireworks, because Destiny isn't familiar with it. And yeah, of course, like you said, they kind of wonder when they'll be able to hear music again, and mention how the people around there have been going without hearing music. So I don't know. I mean, I understand what the point of the scene is, I guess, just to try to develop a relationship a little bit more. And that seems like the entire point, I guess, of this episode, is just to further develop the relationship between Takt and Destiny. But I don't know. It other than that, there wasn't really much that happened, other than it felt kind of setting up, I guess, for some kind of a maybe some kind of climax, or some kind of fight that's going to happen later on, or I don't know. I guess if this is going to be 13 episodes, I guess it's getting to that point, since considering we're on episode 9. So yeah, we're kind of already getting there. And of course, we learned that, we also learned, we should mention that early on in the episode, that Schindler apparently has been imprisoned for what he did. And that also after Takt and Destiny come back from, I guess, the park they were at, they also Destiny senses D2s nearby, and also hears the tuning fork. So I guess it's sort of implying there's something else going on, and that I kind of assumed Schindler wasn't the only quote unquote villain, I suppose, of the series.
Well, you have to remember is what happened to Schindler. He wasn't being punished and imprisoned for luring the D2s with Hell's tuning fork. He's being imprisoned just because he wanted to kill Takt in the first place.
Yeah, because I guess the leader of the Symphonica didn't really agree with that or something, so he's is pretty much, I guess, just for disobeying orders. Um, and we also find out apparently that the one music guard, Heaven, is I guess like either like some kind of a work associate of Lot, or she knows her somehow, which is interesting. But yeah, no, like I don't know if that's gonna go anywhere. Um, but
We only see Heaven just just like in one little scene,
mhm.
and we never really get to see a lot of development with uh between Charlotte and Anna, like
Well, we get
when they
like
were
just
together.
like kind of brief conversations between the two of them, just where Anna's like talking to her about like what happened on her trip over to New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but that's essentially it, and
yeah.
we continue to see Lot um, continuing her research on what she learned with Tact and Destiny, but we don't get anything further from that. And so the final scene is like once they get back to Anna's home, Tact is of course contacted by Lenny, who instructs them to evacuate New York with Destiny and the rest of their family. Otherwise, like because he knows for a fact that something's going to happen in New York sooner than later. But of course, Tact refuses and decides to stay behind and try to um, resolve the situation in any way he can.
Hmm.
Lenny goes off like in a way almost like it's like if they're not going to see each other again. But of course, Tact says, well, but sooner like okay. Uh, Soon after that, Lenny decides to reveal Tact the truth regarding the Symphonica's intentions and the incident and what happened in Boston that led to Tact's father's death.
Yeah, of course, that's where the episode ends, and it just ends on this cliffhanger where we're, I guess, not gonna find that out until in the next episode, of course. So, uh, I don't know. I feel like I have some mixed feelings about the episode. I liked that it kind of tried to develop Tact and Destiny's relationship a little bit, but I don't know. I felt like I guess that could have been done a little bit better. I just didn't really feel much different about their relationship in general after this episode. I mean, I see what it was trying to do, but it's just I felt like it could have done a little bit more in that regard. Um, I did like certain reveals, but I mean they were kind of predictable, like the whole thing about basically the Tact and Destiny are pretty much dying because of the of them fighting so much. And I mean, like, I kind of like that element, that plot point, but like I said, it was kind of like we pretty much assumed that was what was happening. Um, and yeah, I don't know. There's not really a lot to say about it. Like, it's just that it just felt like not too much really happened. Um, I feel like the pacing of this series has just been kind of weird. Like, in I mean, the last episode we had, it felt like it was kind of like this too in the last one as well, where it did. I felt like the last one actually did more to develop them as characters than this one, and I felt like just more happened in that episode. In this one, it felt like it kind of slowed down. And if it is 13 episodes, like I don't know. The pacing, like I said, just I feel like the pacing is my biggest issue with the series. Honestly, it's just like I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same way about the way the series is
Eh,
done.
it's a bit mixed in my opinion. Considering that this is more of an anime original series, they try to tread the line between between an action heavy episode and then going into a slower episode here and there.
Mm,
But like you said, the pacing does kind of get mixed around a bit at weird times. So I
yeah.
mean, we'll have to see what where it goes from here. But I'm assuming things will start picking up once we find out what happened to Tact and his father.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that'll be interesting. I mean, I have some theories about what might have happened, and uh,
There is another thing I want to point out
mhm.
is that during Charlotte's research on both Tact and Destiny, Destiny brings up on whether or not part of
Oh yeah, yeah, I forgot
uh,
about that. Yeah,
whether part of Cosette is still within her, because we don't know for a fact whether or not if Cosette is really alive or not, or like some part of her consciousness is alive within Destiny right now, or if Destiny is really permanent.
yeah. I don't know if we got a straight answer to that. I think like I think she more or less says no, but like
she never
yeah.
answers that question.
Well, I mean, we do see a scene like later where she's like it's just kind of like she's acting like it seems like she's sad about something, and I wonder if that's what it had to do with that. But I don't know. It feels like there's some things she knows that she's not really telling them. At least that's the impression I got from some scenes where she's just like kind of looking at the screens and stuff, and maybe she knows a little bit more than she's letting on, I guess. But I don't know. I guess that might be revealed later. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the episode, honestly. Like,
the episode was okay and kind of so-and-so at several points.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that. I mean, well, I am actually looking forward to what's going to happen next week, considering the way the episode ended off abruptly, like in a cliffhanger like that. So, I guess we're definitely heading into the climax of the season, assuming if it is going to be the last one of the last episodes.
One thing too is like it's weird how we haven't seen Valkyrie again after that one episode. I'm guessing maybe she'll show up, maybe a little bit, maybe near the end, I guess. But I kind of thought we would have seen her earlier on and she would have like joined, because I thought that she was going to like just join up with them or something, and I guess I was wrong about that. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with her character, because she just kind of disappeared after that one episode and she hasn't really come back. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Hopefully she'll make an appearance again, depending on what the circumstances are.
But yeah, I guess that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.